It's Saturday morning. This is going to be the second of my series with meat from Texas Slabs. I decided once I found Texas Slabs last Saturday that I think it'd be great to have one place that I can refer people to that has just an awesome array of meat of all kinds. So I'm going to do brisket today that I got at Texas Slabs. It's a USDA Prime Black Angus brisket. It's beautiful meat. I'm going to cook it on the big pit. We're blessed with a beautiful sunny day today. I'm going to get it all fired up. I'm going to show you how I trim it. I'm going to show you how I season it. It's not dissimilar to the one we did before. Exception being, this did not come from Costco. It did not come from a big box store, excuse me. It came from a kind of a mom and pop small butcher shop, which is, like I said in my last episode, it's exactly what I was looking for. And can't wait to go there again and do several different recipes. I want to do tri-tip. I want to get ribs from them. Last night we did a steak that just came out amazing. We're going to do brisket today, and we're going to do some different things. And if you folks would like me to do anything special for you, put it in the comments down below, and I will be happy to try to do that. Also, my affiliate links are down there, my pit barrel links, my Amazon links. ThermoWorks has, I got every one of their products listed down there, and you can buy them from SteenSmokeHouse, and I would appreciate you doing that. It doesn't cost you anymore, but it does help my channel grow, and that really helps me present useful content to you. So, without further delay, let's get working on our brisket. When you buy a USDA Prime, it'll have this stripe on the wrapper that says USDA Prime. This is a beautiful, beautiful brisket. The point is nice and thick. Even the flat is nice and thick. This is gonna come out really nice in our big pit. I'm gonna flip it around and show you the other side. This point, this is the point over here. Of course, this is the flat. This is a nice, this is where all the tender, most tender meat comes from, but when we're all done with it, it's gonna be pretty consistently uniform all the way. This flat is nice and thick. I'm going to trim some of the fat off that I don't want, but it's Black Angus, USDA Prime. It's got a good price point too. It's $4.19 a pound. Grocery store, choice or select, you're going to pay at least that. It's comparable to Costco, maybe a buck or so or half a buck less, but this is from my Texas Slabs butcher shop that I just started using. I just can't wait to get it ready for you. To me, the most challenging part of trimming a brisket is the back side. This is the most fatty side. And what we want to do is get this down to maybe 1/4 inch thick. And in order to do that, we're just going to take slight slices just here and there. If you miss and go a little deep, it's not the end of the world. There's a lot of fat on here that we can get rid of. This stuff here is pretty hard. There's a big fat cap over here on the other side that we're going to take off, but in the meantime I'm just going to start shaving off this unwanted stuff until I get it where we want. This is that Dexter-Russell knife that I have in my links where you show more down below. This is a great knife. I bought this just for this, and I think I can't remember who it was. I think it was maybe Aaron Franklin or somebody using a knife that was either this knife or one just like it, but this really is the easiest way to do this, because there's going to be a lot of cutting, and you want something that fits well in your hand, has a good grip, and this thing is, like all my knives, is really super sharp. So it makes the job go a lot faster and a lot neater. Remember, sharp knives are safer knives. Okay, I've got the back side all trimmed. This side, this is what I call the top side. When we put it in the smoker, the point side, which is this big side, is going to be on the fire end, and then the flat side, which is this side, is going to be on the exit end. We do that because the majority of the heat's coming this way, and we kind of want the heat to flow over the brisket. And like Aaron Franklin says, we're kind of making it aerodynamic, which sounds kind of funny, but think about the air flowing a certain way, and we want it all to flow and flow evenly. So I'm going to take this great big piece of fat off here. This is like, it's like a rock. You cannot render this down. So I'm going to take this off, and bit by bit, it actually goes pretty deep. You can see that all just like a rock. Anyway, the rest of this is not going to take much. This fat over here is going to render down pretty well. I'm going to trim like this flap off right here just to make it a little more aerodynamic. But this fat is different than this fat. So you've got nice smooth edges, and that's what we want. I'm going to take a little bit more of this off, and then this will be done. When you buy a USDA prime brisket like this, there's a lot less waste. If you buy a choice or select, when you get it home and unwrap it, what you're going to have is, I mean, you're going to lose a lot of the what you paid for, because you're going to have to throw it away anyway because it's not going to render down. The way this is marbled, and you can see the way the grain's going, that this is a beautiful cut of meat. If you remember when we did our first one, the flat, if you can see the grain right there, it changes, and then the point goes this way. So when we cut it, if we were to divide it in half, we'd cut it just about there, so we'd have a point and a flat. So one of these days I may just do one or the other and compare the two just for the sake of comparison. But anyway, we're just about done trimming this thing, and then we're going to season it up. I've already seasoned the other side. I'm going to put a little bit of Louisiana hot sauce on here just to act as a binder and to give it a little color. It's not going to add or subtract from the flavor. It's just going to add a little character to it. And then after we're done with that, again, just a little hint of it. The only rub I'm using, which works best for me, salt and pepper mixed together. I'm putting quite a bit on here. So I'm going to cover this up and let it sit and kind of come to room temp. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to get our big pit fired up, and then we're going to throw it on there and wait. Doesn't get any easier than that. I do realize I took a long time showing you the trimming part of the preparation, but hopefully that'll make it a little bit easier for you, and hopefully I made it clear enough that it'll take a little bit of the hassle out of it.
Okay, our brisket's on. It's a little after 9. I got started a little late. Beautiful looking cut of meat. I do have the ThermoWorks probe in it, just to make sure that nothing crazy happens or something like that. I'm actually going to cook when the feel of the brisket is right, not necessarily when it comes to temp. The temp may be anywhere from 205 to 220 or somewhere in there. So all pieces of meat are different, all grills are different, smokers are different, fire is different. Anyway, you know all that stuff. I do have a water pan over there, and then our ThermoWorks is set up right there. Right now the interior temp of the meat is 51 degrees, so I can monitor this from inside. So nothing left to do now but close the lid, let it roll. That's what we want to see. We want to see flames in there. That fire is going to die down a little bit. I just closed the door, but my pit has to have the door, the firebox door, open about 2 inches for it to get the right color smoke. But anyway, we're well on our way now. So let's just let it roll and see how it turns out. Our brisket's looking really excellent. The only thing I've done to it, other than placing it where it is, I haven't moved it. I've spritzed it with apple juice. I'm going to do again right now. And that's it. It's maybe halfway through. It doesn't jiggle yet, but it's getting there. So, I'll be back with you soon.
About an hour and a half or two ago, I did go ahead and wrap our brisket in butcher paper and a layer of foil on the outside. That's going to help it kind of finish out cooking. And some people said it harms the bark, but I really haven't experienced that. My bark is usually pretty good, but you're going to see that in a moment.
I'm not sure if you can see this on camera or not, but this brisket is, you can't do better than that. It's got a really nice bark on it. It's got a perfect smoke ring, and it's just so juicy. You know what, Texas Slabs? It doesn't get any better than this. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
And the other thing, this is the flat part, and it is just as moist and juicy as the point part. So there's very little difference between the two, and that's just a great cut of meat.
This is probably one of the best briskets I've ever tasted.
Very special thanks to Scott and the team at Texas Slabs. You ought to give them a try, folks. It's good stuff.